Hello, hello! Welcome to Boiling Water and Other Basics. Due to the time crunch, I have some things pre-made here, so let's get started. Today we're doing biscuit gravy breakfast sandwiches. And as you can see here, I have some sausage browning in the pan. And I'm just breaking it up here. Okay? If you guys haven't noticed already, I have to have this broken up quite a bit. Otherwise, you're not going to get as much sausage throughout your gravy. Okay? And this is just your basic tube of mild breakfast sausage. Now, while that's browning up, let me direct you to some of the ingredients, okay? I have a toaster oven. Let me just say that first and foremost. I do not have a regular oven. So these biscuits have been baking already on the bake setting right here for about 10-15 minutes. The toaster oven, let me just say, hits a little different than a regular oven. So you'll have to bake things just a tad longer in order to get it started. But the standard bake temperature is 350. And here's the biscuits for the sandwiches before they're baked. Okay? I can get into freshly baked biscuits in a later segment. But right now, let me direct you to some scrambled eggs, some bacon, and these are the ingredients for our gravy. Okay? Since I'm lactose intolerant, I have lactose-free milk. I have some salt, some adobo seasoning, some dill, a little cream, and a secret ingredient, a little bit of Parmesan cheese. It's going to add richness of flavor. And then we got parsley and a little dill. Now those biscuits are just dinged. So what I'm going to do is very carefully set this on to broil and brown these a little bit on the top. Just a little bit. I'm going to set it for a few minutes because that's literally all it takes. And you got to watch them while they're browning in the oven. Now, we're going to direct our attention back to this sausage. Now, see how it's starting to get brown and everything? You want this fully cooked. And then you're going to separate this from the pan. See? And you want it broken up into really small crumbles. Like that. See how good that's getting? Once you no longer see red in the pan, and I mean, you don't want this thing to oink at you. Okay? Once it no longer looks like it could go oink, then you know it's ready. Okay, now back to these biscuits browning. See how they're getting a little color on the top? Here? I don't know if you can see there we go. You can see the color coming on, and they're almost ready. In fact, I think we're going to pull them out now, just to make sure. We're going to set them on the stove and let them cool down a bit. Oh, perfect. Perfect! Well, we turn our toaster oven off. Look at that. Those are going to make some excellent biscuit sandwiches. Okay. Now, our sausage is just about completely browned. See that? Still got a little bit of red in there. So, I'm going to tell you guys, this is by no means Southern biscuits and gravy. This is a recipe that I adapted a long time ago. And, you know, traditional Southern biscuits and gravy has, like, salt, like a little pepper, maybe, you know, a lot of milk and all that stuff. this one, I decided to do the little twist of flavor because my father, God rest his soul, he always told me that the gravy was too bland. And, you know, as he got older, his taste buds were starting to die a little bit. And then when I made the new gravy with all the herbs and spices in it and the cream, and I made it a little richer, he started to like his biscuits and gravy again, you know. And so this is kind of near and dear to my heart because Dad loved biscuits and gravy, and he wouldn't eat it in the classic style, and he wouldn't eat it, you know, pretty much any time until I made it this way. Okay, so our sausage is nice and crumbly, and it's ready to come out of the pot. Now, I'm going to have my handsome assistant come take this so you guys can watch me scoop all that luscious sausage out. Thank you. And we're going to just, see this little strainer? We're just going to scoop it. That has a purpose, because we don't want to lose all that juice in there. That's going to come in handy for making our roux to keep our gravy thick. And we're doing this because we want our gravy to thicken up. But we don't want all that flour getting into our sausage. The only thing we want in this pot is the fat from the sausage. The fat, not the meat. So, what I'm going to do is just take this and kind of use the momentum of the of gravity here to kind of get that sausage into a corner. And once you have as much sausage as possible, okay, once you get all that goodness out, and it's okay to have a little teeny bit in there because you need the fat. But see how brown and pretty that is? See how much sausage I have in there? That's how much you want to see come out. Okay, so the first stage of any good roux, we're gonna have quite a bit of butter here. Get rid of this. Okay, and so that's about 1 tablespoon. Remember, guys, clean hands, clean table, clean kitchen. Everything's tight. All right. Now, no, I don't need that. Okay, so for, I'll wash my whisk off. Okay, so for this, I'm going to give it about 2 tablespoons of flour because we're making quite a bit of gravy here. Don't worry about making a mess. We'll clean all that up later. Alright. Now, once you see that butter completely melt, see how it's getting all frothy? That's a good thing. Turn the fire down a little bit so that it doesn't burn. And then you start doing it like this. And then you grab your whisk and start whisking in the flour. That's very important. Okay? And you want it to be a little thick. Okay? See, that's good. And that way you'll get all those little brown bits off the bottom. That's very important. You want every ounce of flavor from that sausage incorporated into this roux. And we're going to add another tip. See, you add it slowly, like a tablespoon at a time. But try to add it like right in the butter. Okay? And you're going to see that kind of lighten up as it cooks out, and then it'll start to darken. Now when it starts to darken a little too much, that's when you know you've gone a little too far. You want it almost like a light caramel color, like a light cream color to this roux. We're going to add a little more flour. So you just got to eyeball it. You'll know what consistency it is. And it doesn't take long. Once you've got your roux going, that is half the battle. Right there. See, it's not thick enough yet. So, this last bit of flour should do the trick. Again, keep to the edges. Spread it out thin. There we go. I want it to look like paste almost. Once you got be sure to scrape down the sides of the pot, too, because you never know. That flour might tighten it up a little too much. Unless it's cooked down with butter, it'll be a pasty mess. So, you see how that roux is starting to darken? I'm constantly stirring that flour. And that is thick and beautiful. And I think we are ready to add our liquid ingredients. Okay? So, again, we're doing cream and milk. So for this, I'm going to say about half a cup of cream, maybe a little more, and this is going to be the kicker right here. We're going to have about 4 to 5 cups of lactose-free milk, which is about what I have left in here for this gravy. And you just want to keep stirring. Keep stirring. Make sure you get the edges of the pot in that roux. Now this makes a lot. You can stretch this, as my handsome assistant will attest to. You can stretch this recipe out for days. I've actually made breakfast nachos with this the second day after, and it was fabulous. Okay, so you can do a lot with this gravy. You can do a lot of. It's not just for breakfast. You can do like your own version of like chipped beef with it. It's really amazing how versatile this is. Okay, so it's at this point that we're going to add our seasoning. And this has to come to a boil before you ever add your sausage. So we're going to bring that up, that temperature up a little bit, and wait for that to boil. Now, it's not until this comes to a boil that you're going to add this last. This Parmesan cheese, that is very important. Otherwise, your gravy will get really tight and it will stick to the pan like mad. Okay, so I'm adding a few sprinkles of adobo. Just a pinch now of salt, because, you know, folks will tend to add it as they like. Be liberal with the herbage. Okay? This is dill. This is dried dill. And a lot of the flavors of the dried stuff are more intense. So here's parsley. Again, be liberal with this. And if you like, I honestly don't prefer it myself, but you can add a bit of sage to this, and it will give it a really nice little kick. It'll reinforce the sage that's usually in the sausage. Okay? But I don't think it needs it myself. And then you're stirring that. Now when this comes to a boil, you'll see it start to thicken. Now while that's boiling, we will start building our sandwiches. So, I'll show you how one will progress. So for the time purposes, I'll build their sandwich and this will conclude. And now when this finishes boiling, we will add our sausage back in and we will have a sandwich like this. Okay? Split this in half. And then we will add cheese, eggs, and bacon. Okay? I always prefer a little Swiss. We'll have some eggs. Oops, a little bit of egg over the side there. And then a slice of bacon. And that is all that time allows for, folks. When your gravy comes out, you simply pour it over or inside, top it with a biscuit, and pour a little more on. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Boiling Water and Other Basics. Thank you for watching. Tune in again for the next episode. Bye-bye.